styles. I just want to do it like big brother talking to little brother, or best friend talking to best friend about this incredible new series that I've just discovered. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and cut this portion of the video off, and I'm going to come right back to you guys with my initial thoughts to One Piece Chapter 1, which is Romance Dawn. Oh man, I'm regretting not getting into One Piece a lot sooner, man. This was a really good introductory chapter. Like, you got a little bit of world building kind of thrown in there, but you also got very big themes about what it means to actually be a man. You got messages about Bravo and machoism, and you got a lot of stuff, that's kind of showing not every fight is worth it, and as a man, sometimes you have to pick and choose your battles. And I really like that, man. I really like what you kind of get out of that. So going all the way back, man. So starting with this, we get the tale of Gold Roger, the king of the pirates. They said he achieved it all. Wealth, fame, power. It had all been his. And his final words before his head got cut off was, "You want my treasure? It's right where I left it. It's yours if you can find it, but you got to search the whole world." And as soon as he said this, what ended up happening is it ended up kicking off this great age of the pirates. And I'm guessing this is where what's going on with Luffy and Shanks is taking place. And I'm not sure where Shanks is going, but one of the things he says is that after 2 or 3 voyages, he'll be gone from the village for good. And it turns out that Shanks and his crew have been staying in this village for a little over a year. And so now they're getting to a point where they're getting ready to actually set voyage. And that's where we meet the main character, Luffy, right? And I do know a little bit about Luffy. I knew that, Luffy could stretch his body. And it turns out the reason why he's able to stretch his body is he ate that devil, that fruit of the devil. And he is able to stretch. I think they called it the gum fruit. And so I thought that was pretty cool that, we get the main character's powers very early on. And another thing I thought was pretty cool is, Luffy has a lot of guts, man. Like, one of the first things he does after, Shanks and them won't allow him to join in the Shanks crew and everything, is Luffy takes this knife and he just cuts across his cheek with it. And he's trying to kind of show what it means to be a man, what it means to be macho. And that's a theme that you see over and over and over in this chapter so far. Is you just see the author, what's the dude's name? It is Oda. One of the things you see Oda saying over and over is the fact that, being a man doesn't necessarily mean you got to prove you're the toughest guy in the room. Sometimes being tough is standing up when the people who depend on you need you the most. Sometimes being tough means standing up for people when they can't stand up for themselves. And so one of the ways he does this is after you got Shanks just kind of bagging on this dude Luffy, right? Just bagging on him. Shanks is just like, "Oh, you want to have some milk, little kid? Here you go." And Luffy says, "Oh, thank you." And he starts drinking the milk, and then Shanks just starts laughing. He's just like, "What kind of pirate would drink milk? Are you fucking serious right now?" And I like the humor in that, because the rest of these pirates are just drinking alcohol, they're partying, they're eating, they're just acting a fool, right? And when you find out Luffy can't swim, I'm going, "Oh, that's odd. The guy wants to be a pirate and he can't swim? What the actual fuck?" That's like, I want to drive a car, but I don't know how to drive. Like, I want to be a race car driver, but I don't know how to get the car out of park. So, I mean, that's one of the things I thought was pretty interesting. And then the other thing is how Oda kind of transitions going a little further, where you get this moment where you see Luffy and he's watching Shanks, and Shanks is getting his head just cracked open with a bottle because this guy from the mountain with these bandits and everything, he comes down and he wants some liquor, and Shanks and his crew, they just drink all the liquor up. They drink all the liquor up, and you get to this moment where Shanks could probably knock this dude upside the head. And I mean, he's a pirate captain, so surely, unless he's fodder, surely, Shanks could probably do this guy in. But he takes the hit, and he takes it with a smile on his face, and then he proceeds to try and clean up the bar. And somebody that's worked in the service industry for a little bit, and I can completely appreciate what Shanks is doing right here. And when Shanks is trying to clean it up, the guy that's the mountain bandit, he's like, "Oh, you like to clean," and it's almost like he's saying, like, hey, that's a real feminine thing you're doing right there. Like the women clean, the men make the mess, and we should be on our way. I think that's kind of the things that was kind of being brought up, was a small hint towards gender roles. But the other thing that was pretty interesting about that is, Shanks, after the guy leaves, he's teaching Luffy a lesson without Luffy actually realizing what he's doing. And Shanks, is just like, why should I get upset? There's no reason. And his crew is just laughing like, yeah, he got you pretty good, Captain. But what was really interesting about that is after Shanks gets hit on the head, everyone just had this expression on their face like, oh shit, it's about to go down. I was expecting like just a straight up brawl. Cause I mean, this is like pirates, like the only thing I know about pirates is like the stuff I saw in the Pirates of the Caribbean trailer. So I'm expecting like some Wild Wild West Royal Rumble type stuff. And it wasn't actually anything like that. But after, Shanks is just like, hey man, don't even worry about this. Like, don't even worry about it. The next thing